Chapter 771. It would be best if nothing happens, but if it does repeat, this time it will go as planned. I will help ensure that. His words felt like unfounded confidence, yet they were overwhelmingly positive and warm. Since nothing had yet happened, it was uncertain whether his words would come true or not. However, Ydir had no doubt that Kishir Or would keep his word. Even if his words seemed light and absurd, Ydir knew the sincerity behind them wasn't light at all. This deep assurance came from knowing that someone was there to trust and rely on, even if something happened to Ydir himself. It was fortunate that this person, who believed in Ydir's words and memories without condition, had the capacity and will to achieve goals on his behalf. Thus, Ydir felt a bit pathetic for still holding back things he couldn't easily tell this man, who so firmly believed and supported him. Ydir then left Kishir's embrace, gauged the direction to head next, and used his power. As he leaped upon the winds, he immediately felt a presence following him. Ydir crossed a distance of dozens of houses in an instant, much faster than before. He leaped over Charloin's night guards, who were diligently guarding the gate without noticing someone flying overhead, and passed the wall dividing the city from the outside without trouble. As he flew across the desolate plains, unseen in the lantern light, relying on the moonlight and stars, Ydir felt the faint breath of the man following him. It was a presence so slight that it was imperceptible unless focused on, but for Ydir that was enough. Soon, a new town appeared, smaller in scale and more like a countryside settlement than Charloin, yet with a considerable population. Ydir paused his movement atop the highest tree in the area, watching Kishir stop, following him. Kishir's golden hair was slightly disheveled, yet he didn't seem too exhausted, almost sparking a sense of rivalry in Ydir. Is this Maklara? Yes. It's not near the harbor. What should we know about this place? This is where the poor driven from Charloin usually settle. The area is crammed with old and dangerous buildings and is more populated than it seems. So even the appearance of a monster before the disaster could complicate things greatly. Yes, the biggest issue here is that only a few imperial soldiers maintain order, so preparing for that is crucial. The local lord is somewhat greedy, but he's easy to talk to, so sending someone should quickly resolve things. Is this from the previous game? Yes, but obviously we are not acquainted now. Back then, the southern branch of the cavalry was here. I see. Ydir didn't explain why the branch couldn't move to Charloin at the time. Kishir would probably guess the reason. If he's the type to accept bribes to allow a cavalry branch without objection, he shouldn't be too difficult to handle. See, without saying anything, he already understands everything. Ydir nodded and pointed towards the Lord's mansion not far from there. Yes, the place where the Lord resides is over there. Next to it is where the Imperial Army stays, and frankly, there are no other decent facilities beyond those two. I understand. Ydir then lifted off towards the next place to inspect. As he headed towards the next area, the distant sea gradually faded from view and the grass and trees started to become sparse. It meant they were nearing the desert. I never thought I would personally assess the desert terrain of the south. Quite fascinating. The man who had been falling behind quickened his pace and moved alongside Ydir, whispering. Have you never seen it before? No, the villa where I stayed in my childhood was near the sea, and no one was brave enough to show a troublesome child the dangerous desert. I asked a few times and then tried to escape on my own, but my mother had foreseen this and had people ready to stop me. It's a rather regrettable memory. Kishir, referring to his younger self as a troublesome child, smiled. Considering the reactions of the servants I met when I visited the palace where he stayed during his princely days, and the fact that he wasn't taken to the desert despite his request, he must have been quite a handful. Even now, Kishir often behaved in unexpectedly bizarre ways. The foresight of the former empress, who had anticipated and prevented Kishir's escape attempt, also seemed remarkable. But Kishir isn't one to give up on his intentions after just one failure. Perhaps things were different in his childhood. Did you try to escape again after that failure? If I tried to escape again, the kind and gentle child who helped me would have been in big trouble, so I gave up. I couldn't hurt others just for my own amusement, right? Oh, I bet that's Nathan. A young child who had helped the young prince in the southern villa. Although the term was unfamiliar, the story seemed somewhat familiar. A face suddenly flashed through Yudhar's mind. After a moment of silence, he asked, "By any chance, is that child someone I know?" "Of course, he grew up to be my excellent adjutant." Dot dot dot. It was indeed Nathan Zuckerman. The disparity between the image of the large, stern knight and the kind, gentle child was significant, yet Yudhir chose not to comment. He was thankful he had seen the mage Helem treat Nathan Zuckerman with affection like a small child beforehand. As Yudhir remained silent, Kishir chuckled softly and changed the subject. The south is still known for its abundance of ancient mysteries. It's said because of the many ruins, but the landforms contribute to that reputation as well. Here, the sea is close, yet one can see a vast desert. It's neither low on water nor does it rain much. The coexistence of such opposites, both dry and wet, is surely a mystery, isn't it? Now that you mention it, yes, it is. It was so common that Yudhir hadn't thought of it as strange, but the south indeed had both the sea and the desert. People in the south believe that this is the remnant of the great catastrophe that struck 1,000 years ago. I didn't know that. It's too obvious to us, but if you ask someone from the south, you will get a different perspective. It seems there are quite a few legends around here. Yudhir, using his power to fly, gazed at the distant, faintly visible horizon. As it was the direction of the desert, there was nothing to obscure the horizon. No mountains, trees, or buildings. The place where things that shouldn't coexist. The more he thought about it, the more this phrase circled his mind. In the midst of a nagging feeling that he was on the verge of a revelation, Yudhir, just as he entered the third area, suddenly remembered someone's voice and unwittingly spoke out. "Ah, what's the matter?" "Because of what you just said, I think I understood why Aton and the southern merchants chose the south as a place to commit their deeds." "You think you know why they chose the south?" Overwhelmed by his realization, Yudhir stopped in a place where he wouldn't be noticed and faced Kishir. "Aton once told me that this land contains all the conditions for becoming immeasurably imbalanced. What they did was merely add to the effects of an imbalance that would have occurred eventually. They said that all conditions were complete on that day. Do you remember?" He did say that. Where else is there a land as imbalanced as this, where desert and sea coexist? If a land already imbalanced is prone to cracks, monsters, and even disasters, then what they did was really just. Before Yudhir could finish, the man who always seemed to understand him before than anyone, his eyes widened in realization. So, it's not that they brought about a disaster and cracks from scratch with human power, but they used magic, life, and something to stir up an already existing imbalance. It might seem similar, but there is a significant difference. That's what you're getting at, right? Yes. Until now, Yudhir had thought that Aton and the Southerners merely fulfilled some conditions like offering sacrifices in a magic circle to summon cracks and monsters. But this explanation didn't fully clarify why they specifically chose the south. However, if one considers that a disaster might have occurred here eventually and the Southerners merely ignited it, the story changes. It's easier to go from 5 to 10 than from 0 to 10 if you already know where the 5 is. That's right. If Aton and his backers knew that the aftermath of an imbalance that could have occurred someday would come in such a way, then that means in the previous game, all the places where similar problems occurred were already known to them, and there existed the possibility that they could commit the same acts at any time, as long as they could shake the imbalance. That was exactly what Yudhir wanted to say. If that's true, then the events of the previous game could happen much faster and more frequently this time, depending on the situation. Yudhir clenched his teeth tightly. After quickly covering the remaining areas, they returned to Charloin. During their return, the dark night had lightened and the sun began to rise in the east. When they finally leaped over the gates of Charloin and landed on the roof of the southern branch of the cavalry, the sun was fully risen. It took us about half a day exactly, Kishir whispered. Are you tired? I'm fine. What about you, Commander? I'm perfectly fine too. Yudhir had expected Kishir to suggest going in to rest or to have a meal, but Kishir remained unusually silent. He just looked at Yudhir for a long while. Why are you looking at me like that? Just now, our conversation sparked a certain thought. A faint smile appeared on Kishir's lips. Old people believed nightmares were like the touch of mist flowing from where the black moon, chased away by the sun god, hides, similar to monsters. ... It just occurred to me that the day you had a bad dream was also the day when the aftermath of the imbalance caused a crack to open and monsters to appear. It might be an overthought, but still. Wait, what? That was a really complicated sentence for me to understand. Old people believed nightmares were like the touch of mist flowing from where the black moon, chased away by the sun god, hides. Okay, so I'm assuming the nightmares are caused by these black moon and the black moon hides. And it said similar to monsters. So we have to take the context of black moon as the monsters, and chased away by sun god is probably the people and awakeners right this time. So Yudhir can dream about the monster occurrence, like he will have like a premonition of having a nightmare, and then the next day there will be a monster or that crack happening.